Okay.
It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me.
We are the world.
Sing it, boss. Welcome to Tales from the Crawl Space Podcast. I am Jack, and the ever beautiful pussy hat wearing man across the proverbial desk for me is Mr. Brad Harvey.
What's up, everybody? Yes, cheese bags across the world. We're getting together tonight.
Ready for the show. I'm looking forward to this one. One of our guests could not make it, and we will definitely have him on another show.
That's
Mr.
right.
Dawson now was unable to make it, and I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay, and hopefully he'll report back, let us know that things are bright and shiny for him, and we'll definitely have him back on the show. So,
Absolutely.
Other than that, we got some awesome guests here. We have an old favorite of ours, Mr. Crab Smasher Dyson Resin, Mr. Dave Lyon. How are you, sir?
I'm very good.
Awesome.
Top of the morning to you.
That's right. It's morning for you, ain't it?
Yeah, it's 9 a.m. So, yeah, cock-a-doodle do.
Yeah.
Nice.
9 a.m. Saturday or Friday?
Yeah, 9 a.m. Saturday. So, welcome from the future.
I'm sure you'll find our ways to be quaint.
Yeah, definitely.
And from Nova Scotia, we have Mr. Rodney. How are you?
What is up? I am fantastic. Fantastic. Hopefully you can understand the words that come out of my mouth tonight. We'll find out.
Alana, looking at the mic being that close to your mouth, I think it's still recording on your PC as opposed to your headset, because I think you'd be a little louder. Otherwise. Let me see.
Should I be louder?
You should be louder.
I don't even have to switch that off. I just plug the thing into the side of the thing and then hit the thing.
Yeah, I don't think that headset's registering, actually. It says it's your Realtek mic and your integrated webcam. So that's right. We can still hear you.
You can still hear me? So that means I can just take this damn thing off?
Yeah, try that and see what happens.
There, can you still hear me?
Yep, same thing.
Same thing, yep.
I'm free.
Now we got to look at his ears.
And from the United Kingdom, we have Mr. Shaun. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks. And I am also from the future, but it's midnight. It's technically the early hours. So I'm from the future as well.
Wow.
Saturday.
Well, we appreciate you losing sleep for us, man.
It's all good. I appreciate it.
And our great friend and cheese bag Mario from down in South America, Brazil. Actually, I believe you're in Brazil, right, Mario?
Yeah, I'm in Brazil.
Awesome. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, but better now with you guys.
Oh,
make me all.
I'm sorry, I can't make this camera work today.
That's all right.
That's too bad because we know all Brazilians are beautiful, and we would have just loved to have you grace our screen with your beautiful face and ample forehead.
I gotta tell you, I was watching some carnival on TikTok, and you should see some of the turd cutters in those videos. I mean, it is astounding. The poop shoots in that video were good. Lord and a quarter. You Brazilian people got some badonkadonks on you.
Yeah. He watches carnival on YouTube. I watch it on Pornhub. It puts a whole new spin on things, let me tell you.
Sometimes it's pretty much the same.
Welcome to the second international episode. We plan on doing these regularly, and we're looking forward to a great show. I've been excited for this one. The last one was awesome. So, and I'm glad to have some new faces here that we can't see, but
we can see one.
Just the same. So, I'll tell you, Brad, you want to handle the introductions and have people go around and talk about who they are and what the hell they're doing?
Yeah, sure. We'll start off with the noobs. Hey, Shaun, why don't you give us a little idea of what it's like to do pest control in the UK?
It's all changed recently. It's the regulators love to change it all up every so often. They basically banned glue boards. Glue boards are now, you have to be licensed. It's not a thing in England. We're not used to having licenses. We have like qualifications. I've got something called RHPH Level 2 Award in Pest Management. I've just recently got that. But you have to have that and a glue board's best practices to use glue boards. But it's only on certain sites. Like it has to be like a hospital infrastructure, and it's all new, you see. So it's like you have to be hospitals or airports. So say you got a kitchen, yeah. That's
right.
Say you've got a food company service, yeah. You can't use it no more. Gone.
Oof.
But it's a bit confusing. But they put it this way: the pest control industry here is not happy with them doing it.
I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around the concept of glue boards being restrictive use. I mean, those have to be one of the. I mean, in here in the States,
and you have to be on site every 6 hours to check them.
Oh my God! Fuck that, man!
And you have to pay per site. I mean, to be honest, I'm still learning it, but I'll be honest, we never, as a company, we never use them. They're very rare, like last resort. But now we just won't bother because you can't use them.
Right.
And you have to apply for a license. A license could take 30 days. What if you got an outbreak? Do you see what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So Shaun, what does that leave you? I mean, what, bait and snap traps? I mean, say for Joe regular guy doing pest control, just bait.
Yeah, bait and traps.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, a lot of rats have got trap shyness as well, so it's not always
exactly.
It's not always the best option, but also in the UK as well. Sorry to say, the S guards, the difenicum, etc. The 5 S guards, you have to now, if you're using bait boxes, it has to be round a permanent structure. So you can't bait round waste dumps now. You have to put your boxes around buildings that are actually buildings. You do as well. So they've
so no dumpster areas or anything like that, or fence lines.
No.
Wow.
But yeah.
See, contract block of the United States fucked up several years ago when they let their patent slip or the registration number slip, and they had to redo the label, and then you couldn't put block invaders around a fence line because we did we were doing I think I talked about it the last show, the place where they grow mice for cancer treatment.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And we had them all along the fence line, but when the label changed for contract, we had to pull all those stations off the fence line. So that's a pain in the ass.
But I mean, I've not been doing pest control that long. I've been doing it since 2020. I've been doing it on and off, wasp nest and that with my dad, and eventually came into the fold. And now we're only a small family business, me and my dad. And I do actually enjoy pest control. It's about, because to be honest, I left school and I went into a crappy dead end job. 16 plus years in a factory making flat pack furniture, and now I'm doing this, and I do actually like it. I know. Do you know what I mean? I like wasp nests mainly. I love the wasps, to treat the wasps.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Those are my favorite for sure.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around the concept of this. Go back to the glue board thing.
Yeah.
It's like what is the lot? Are you aware of the logic that went into this?
Non-target. It's non-target species being caught on boards and dying, and even rodents being caught and having a miserable death.
They do. Again,
for being inhumane.
Fan of glue boards,
inhumane, because it's like when you go to a customer's home and they go, "I've got these humane traps." No, not traps, cages. And I go, "They're only humane if you keep checking them." Well, they are, aren't they? They're not humane otherwise. That's why they call you up. Oh, I bought loads that didn't work. There's no attractant in it. But we sort it. But yeah, that's the premise around it. But a lot of the UK pest controllers are trying to get their heads around it to learn what it's like. But for my company, unless we get like a big contract site where they've got hundreds of food factories around the country, we won't be able to use it. But we wouldn't be able to service anything like that. We're too small. We are. But yeah,
Wow.
it's an interesting time in Britain. For the industry is not happy. Put it that way about it.
Yeah.
I also can also, if you break the rules as such, it's believed you can actually you can go to prison. But I don't think anyone actually will. I think it more like a fine. You imagine being in prison. What did you do, mate? I used a glue board wrong. I just can't see it, but who knows?
But yeah, people leave you alone because you're hard if you do something like that.
But to be fair, we're going to stay away from it. But the industry is fuming over here. The big companies.
I see.
But yeah, it's an interesting time. But yeah, it's just one of them things. You can do about it.
Yeah.
They've always tried to take. Oh, another thing we've got. I don't know what you guys use for pest control, but in the UK, wasp nests. For the decades in the UK, the gold standard has been a product by Bayer called Ficam D. And it's amazing, absolutely amazing. You hit a wasp nest, got right, and you'll be gone within not long, right? That's being removed from the market.
Oh, I'm stunned that you still have it, Sean. We haven't had Ficam D here for god damn, like 15 years.
Oh, well, we're not happy. We're not happy.
Right,
put it this way.
That stuff is
gold.
first degree murder on fucking wasps.
We weren't happy either. We weren't happy.
Yeah.
Oh, we were pissed.
Well, they removed Vicam W. They removed Vicam W first, then Vicam D. You can use it till January next year, but obviously you don't get wasps in January, do you?
No.
Dave probably does, don't you? Dave and Mario, you all get them in January.
Oh yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's summer for them over down there in January.
Yeah, it will be. But yeah, we've got a lot of changes here in England. We got a lot of changes. We've got to change the toolkit when it comes to wasps next year. It's going to have to go for a Deadline or Vulcan next year, most likely.
Yeah, I found a good product for bee is a Tipo Dust is a really good one, but apparently they're discontinuing that too. I was in our chemical room this morning, and I was looking at the 12 bottles of it, 11 bottles now because I did snag one of Tipo D, and thinking I'm never going to see this shit again. It was a good all-purpose one. It's good for wasps. It's good for roaches. It's okay for ants. But man, Ficam D, dude.
I know. We are wounded. Trust me, we are wounded.
You are, yeah.
I'm a Dryon guy for wasps. I've always been dyed-in-the-wool Dryon for wasps.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know what that is.
I've had to use tri-dye, but sometimes it's going to be to the point where we're just going to put gasoline in a cup and stick it up on the nest and let them drop into it. Rodney, how about you? What's it like up in the Great White North?
It's warm and sticky up here these days. She's humid, but it's nice. It's the industry certainly is changing here as well, with getting a lot of products discontinued. But the thing with us is we haven't had a lot of products to begin with. So like for roaches and things like that, there's no registered IGRs in Canada at all.
Interesting.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I've been in the business only for 4 years as well. I was a COVID baby coming into pest control.
Yeah.
And I put a rocket up my ass and shot up through the big box company and tried to learn as much as I could. And I was always an advocate for why across the border can they use IGRs for cockroaches and stuff like that? And we're in there with Greenway bait and Ciclera and stuff like that, and just being able to use that or do flush and vax, right? You're not actually able to kind of mitigate the process of the colony, right? So yeah, it's but pest control here is great. I get a lot of carpenter ants in Nova Scotia, a lot of carpenter ants, and that is so much fun, man. Like Jack, you were saying Dryon, right? Dryon is like, so with the company I worked for, they were always like, all right, you got to bust out the Actisol machine. You got to bust out, this machine. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Right? I'm like, you got to bust out all this fancy equipment. I'm like, dude, give me a dust bulb, a drill, and a stethoscope, and I'm gonna fucking make it rain carpenter ants. And they were in awe. They were like, oh man, you're doing this with little to no product. I'm like, yes, because I'm using my fucking brain too, right? Like, you have to think to do pest control, right? So
That's your first mistake, Rodney, is using your fucking brain in a big box company.
that's why I'm not big box anymore.
Fucking A. Same here.
That's why I hung my own hat, doing my own thing now. Got away from that crap. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I was too old to hang my own hat, so I went and hooked up with somebody that I knew that hung his own hat, and I'm just kind of hanging on to his hat now.
There you go. I thought about that. I had some offers, like, because I knew this was happening. The workload, the work-life balance, and the fact that I was paid literal pennies to dollars for the work and the hours. So I was like, looking around at some of the smaller mom and pop shops, and I just kind of weighed my odds, and I looked at the area and how popular I am with my customers with Facebook and TikTok and stuff. And I looked at my wife one morning. I'm like, I just quit my job. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. We're going to do this. Let's just do this. So I'm like rocking around in an old 2015 F-150, just doing great. Honestly, I'm only 9 weeks in, and I'm already bringing in 3 months worth of paychecks from Big Box. So I'm feeling good about it.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot more headaches, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting in. I had a break between jobs, and I needed to stop and drop my apprehend off so it wouldn't sit in my truck all weekend. And stopped in the office, and I sat in William the Merciful's office and was listening to him go back and forth about a certificate of insurance. And after he hung up the phone, I just looked at him. I said, "Oh God, I do not miss that." This was a 15-minute conversation that could have been avoided if the insurance person would have gotten their head out of their ass and done the COI right. He's got his vendor on the other line just motherfucking everything over it. And yeah, it's like, nah, man, I'm good. I go out, I kill bugs, I make good money, and let Bill deal with it.
So, you enjoy it, like, honestly, right? Like, you have to really love this shit.
You do.
You're not going to survive if you don't.
And that's what it all boiled down to. I mean, I sat in a big chair for a couple of decades before I went back out in the field, and I'm like, hey, dude, this is why I fell in love with what I'm doing now. Is why I fell in love with the business in the first place. Was getting out, getting my left arm tanned, running around and dealing with customers, and working with them, talking to them, and just getting the job done for them. And then I'm the hero. I'm not the guy that has to listen to a bitch all the time. And if they do start bitching at me about the company or the other tech, I'm like, don't bitch to me. You got, I'm here now. Let's take care of it. And then, usually I walk away with, a smoldering heap of a house that, with a bunch of dead bugs and a happy customer. So that's what I get off on.
That's it. It's the customers. It's the happy. It's the when you're done the job and you're like, holy shit, I can't have fathomed how you would have crawled in there and did that. And you're like, yeah, man. That's what I do.
That's right.
Doing the shit that nobody else wants to do. It's pulling cockroaches and bed bugs off of you, right? And just kind of laughing about it because that's the good shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, the funny and as far I could have opened my own business, but I'm like 5 years away from retirement. And it's like you got in order to do this and actually make it work and make a penny for yourself, you have to have big balls, but they can't be too long. It's like
toilet water, right? You're like,
exactly. There's a happy medium in there between big and hanging. So and I feel like that passed me, but again, I don't regret a second of it because like I said, I'm in my zone right now, and so it's what it is. But I love it. And I couldn't ask for a better leader in William the Merciful.
I had an old manager that did the same thing. Like he was management for big box, and he was like, I've got like 5 years left before I'm retiring. He's like, you can shove this job up your ass. I'm either going to quit or I'm a tech again. And now he's so happy, right? Because he's out there, he's doing the work again. The headaches aren't different headaches, but you know what I'm saying. It's like it's not all that corporate shareholder BS that everybody in big box gets into, right? So,
when you get in the truck, the only thing you have to worry about is your route, your stuff, and when your day's over, your day's over. You don't have the office calling because they got some problem or some dude trying to make you tell him to stay home the next day because he's sick or because he don't want to say it himself and wants to blame it on you. You don't have any of that bullshit. It's just you get your shit done, you go the fuck home. So when the last job I had before I had to stop working was that commercial route, and I fucking loved it, man. I was so fucking happy. And when I come home, I was done for the day. I didn't have to field calls all fucking evening.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. So Mario, me and Jack have spoken before. How are things? Anything new down the pipe since we last talked to you?
To be honest, not so much.
That's a good thing sometimes. To be honest.
Sometimes, I agree with you. But
you could have somebody banning glue boards on your ass or make you have a license for them.
Yeah, no, actually, as you said, it's very strange all these regulations because here we don't have it so much regulations in this matter. You see, we still use the DVP. Is that correct? To talk to you,
DVP.
DVP. We still use it. Yeah, and I know it's banned in very countries around the world now. And glue boards we can use. I just don't use it's not possible. When we have much dust the people throws water and spoil them. So we use traps, but we use glue boards everywhere. Doesn't some tree huggers they complain about being cruelty with the mice, but again, as I said the other time, uh, they're pests. These rats are pests. They spread disease. So we are having a huge flood in South Brazil. People are dying from leptospirosis because of the rats. So protect them. I don't know. I don't see it's logical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They could go back to hell where they came from.
yeah,
Exactly.
I hear you, Mario.
And the pigeons too.
The pigeons. Well, they're just rats with wings anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I would prefer having a rat shit on me than a pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a rat you could just take it. I mean, son of a bitch. A pigeon, you're like, oh god damn. And then he's already flown. He's already like 3 miles away before you can think to do anything about it. The rat, you got a shot at killing it. Vengeance is mine, motherfucker.
The sickest I've ever been was cleaning up pigeon shit. I was sick for weeks afterwards.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's the same
That
hazard
shit's
rating
bad
as
news,
asbestos.
especially when it's dry.
Yeah. Same hazard rating as asbestos.
Yeah.
You get histoplasmosis from that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ugh. That's some bad shit. That takes like serious antibiotics that makes you piss out your asshole for a month just to get rid of that stuff.
Oh mercy.
So Dave, have you been over the past since almost a year since we did the last international episode, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. No, just out there, busy working my ass off, killing it out there. So yeah, company's moving into HACCP accreditation, so I'm kind of refreshing my brain on all that stuff. Good old glue boards are banned completely. Well, we're not licensed to have them. They are just flat out banned across the board.
Wow.
Been like that for quite a few years now. Any live traps must be checked every 24 hours unless you provide them with water, food, and bedding. Then you can check them every 48 hours.
And a Swedish massage.
Exactly. Set up a little bed and, a little table with food on it. And it's
comfy?
ridiculous.
That's
It's
the same
absolutely
here.
ridiculous.
Come on.
That's the same
like the
here.
movie.
Roses.
It's like the movie Tommy Boy. Housekeeping, you want me to put a pillow?
Oh shit. Man,
Yeah,
Jack,
so,
I'm beginning to think we don't have it so bad over here in the States.
No, that's what it's sounding like. I mean, we lost some good shit. I'm still sore about Diazinon. I'll always be sore about Diazinon.
Diazon? Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that shit. Man, you spread that shit once, you didn't have ants for the rest of the year. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That shit was great.
Yeah, laughs in Termidor. Termidor. Hey, we've got a couple guys around here. Shaun, you guys use much of that? Fipronil, Termidor, Taurus?
No, I don't.
A pity.
Oh, wow.
How are ants over there in the UK?
To be fair, I mean, we don't. I don't know why we don't seem to get a lot of ant work. Or our company, I know you all mentioned cockroaches, but in the area I'm in, we never get cockroach jobs ever. We don't. There's not any cockroaches in our area.
Wow,
there isn't.
Holy hell!
There isn't the city near us, but we don't cover that. We don't cover that city.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? We don't often get that, but we do deal with ants. We do. We use Max 4. Hang on. We use. I did screenshot it in case you guys asked me.
Is it Quantum?
Where was it? I'm just trying to find it. Max Force is called. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you
have
do
that
much?
over here.
That's it. Max Force,
Yeah.
push box, amp bait stations. That's what we use. They're quite good.
Okay. Yeah. I've got this stuff now. Well, go ahead, Jack.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask. In the UK, do you have many? I mean, is there much termite work in your area? Do you do a lot of termite work? Do you have that problem over there?
We don't have termites.
Me either.
You don't
St.
get
Patrick
termites.
drove them out of there with the snakes, I guess.
Yeah, you don't get
the island.
You don't get termites. Termites wouldn't work out as well in this country because our houses are made out of brick. It only affects wood, doesn't it? Mainly, old houses.
You're not known for your vast forested areas either.
Well, they keep knocking it down to build more houses.
That's out of bricks.
Yeah, but no, we don't get termites. I've seen some pest control companies that I think do their social medias here that have people doing them but don't understand what bugs we have here. Because I caught one saying that termites is one of our top bugs, but it wasn't. You don't even have them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sorry to keep going back to Shaun here, but because for one thing, he's the first guest we've had from the United Kingdom, and there's a lot of things that are interesting to me, and one of them is as far as the type of pests that he's dealing with, and the fact that he doesn't have termites. Again, that kind of makes sense. Cockroaches,
cockroaches are here, right?
They are there. Okay, I
live in Oakham, Rutland. To be fair, compared to cities, we do deal with cities, but most of our work is rural. I live in the smallest county in England, you see, and we cover bigger areas, but we don't have.
That makes sense.
My dad's been running the firm over 16 years, but he started out part time,
Because throughout history, the island you live on has been a major importer of everything. It was like the crossroads of the world throughout history.
So you do get cockroaches here.
Yeah,
That's just let you know,
a
it's
lot
where
of things
I'm
would be
based.
imported in.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. We can't go a fucking year without having something new pop up that we've gotten from China. You know, we've got these. They're called brown marmorated stink bugs. They're a pain in the ass. Oh, did you hear that thunder? Yeah, we have tornadoes here too, by the way.
Wow.
And you know, brown marmorated stink bugs. Now we have the spotted lanternfly. We have these Asian beetles that look like ladybugs, but they fucking infest.
Are you on about Asian
beet?
you're not on about harlequins. You're not talking about harlequins here. Do you have harlequins?
Harlequins?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Not so much.
Ladybirds.
Yeah. Ladybirds. Yeah, they call them ladybirds over there.
The harlequins.
The true ladybug is cool. You know, you know, we get them. They kill aphids. It's great.
Yeah.
These things were actually introduced by some moron at Purdue University back in the 1920s in order to take care of aphids on crops. Well, they did that, and they also fucking get everywhere else too. Every winter we get these ladybugs called. Thousands of them are invading homes. They're looking for a warm place to hang out for the winter. They go up to the peak of the roofs and everything. It's the same thing with the brown marmorated stink bugs. It's like sometimes it's like, you know, we've got those. We've got the Asian beetles. We've got the spotted lanternflies. We got snakefish. We've got carp all in our waters now that should be here. It's like China is getting ready to, you know, have groceries available for the invasion feast after they're done. You know? But yeah. So I would say, you know, let's go to Australia. Like, you know, Dave, imported bugs.
Yeah, we've had up north. They're getting a lot of Indian drywood termites, and that's a big deal. If they find them, you're reporting it to the government and all hands on deck trying to get rid of them. We've got some pretty famous introduced species like cane toads. You know, they were brought in to take cane toads. We don't get them down here, but up north they are everywhere. They brought them in to take care of cane beetle, I think it was, in the cane fields. Problem is, the toad's on the ground. The cane beetles are up high in the sugar cane. So it did nothing. It literally did nothing.
They just stare at the beetles, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
And these things are voracious. Like, I've seen them eat mice because I grew up in Queensland and we had them there, and I've seen them eat mice because they're quite a large toad. And they're one of the only amphibians where the eggs and the tadpoles are poisonous.
Oh shit!
Are these the type of toads that you could piss off and then lick, and then, you know, have a trip?
I'm sure you could. I'm pretty sure people do. I think people smoke the skin. Not personally, but yeah, I think people smoke the skin, and you can get high with it that way, or you can lick it. Yeah. But they kill dogs.
Rodney's down here taking notes.
I smell another episode with Dave. I smell
inebriated amphibian episode.
Yeah, that's it. The toad licking episode.
Man. So, and of course, Australia is famous for having all this shit that can kill you. You know, even the mice can kill you or something like that.
I wouldn't say the mice could kill you, but they definitely want to.
No doubt.
Yeah, not everything will kill you, but they definitely want to. One of our biggest introduced species we get down here is the European wasp.
We get a lot European wasps. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we get a lot of them down here. Very, very aggressive.
Yeah,
very aggressive. And
I'm smiling right now because I just looked out the window and it's like pouring down deluge rain, and I don't have to water my tomato plants tonight.
We've got something new in the UK that we can't. Pest controls ain't officially allowed to deal with. We've got an invasion of Asian hornets. That they've made their way over from Jersey, and now they're in England. I'm not saying that the government, if you find Asian hornets, you've got to report it to DEFRA, government agency, and believe it or not, the beekeepers are sorting it out. That most of them are retired. So I think, but there's no current chemical or powder or dust you're allowed to. We're not allowed to touch them. You've got to have special training because Asian hornets, I believe, correct if I'm wrong, you could have one nest and you could have 6 satellite nests that are connected to it.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're not
Asian
trained
hornet,
on it.
and they'll fuck you up too.
But I think they will overtake. I think there will be in years to come. They will become a real big problem, and by that time they'll go, "Okay, pest controllers, you can have a go now." When it's too late.
One of the things they've been over here on a couple of times, but it always the winter always manages to kill whatever got over here out, which is cool. But sooner or later, they're going to start popping up in some of the southern states where they're going to be able to survive. And I live in the Midwest United States, kind of up north. I'm just a couple 100 miles south of the Great Lakes, and the thing about us is we have winter, so we don't have things like that. We don't have a whole lot of stuff that can kill you here, like Asian hornets, fire ants, Africanized honeybees, things like that. So that's why I'm in pest control, because I'm a pussy, and I chose to go into pest control in an area where there's not so many things that could kill me. What could kill me in here is maybe an old ladder that I may be standing on to do something, or a disgruntled husband. But that's about it.
Well, I tell you, I mean, when it comes to introduced species, when I was in Pennsylvania and the spotted lanternfly was, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and spotted lanternfly was so bad up there, you actually had to have a permit on your vehicle to go from county to county. And you had to inspect your vehicle before you drove into that next county, because they didn't want you transferring these things and spreading them artificially other than their own migration. So it was so bad. I was standing out in front of this one house, and it was almost like the cicada blight, where they're just like landing on you, like by the 10, 20 of them just landing on you. You're just standing there. The sky was dark with them. There were so many of them. It's crazy.
That's crazy, that is.
That's nuts. And spotted lanternflies are just now starting to make their appearance in the area that I hail from, and I am not a happy guy. I'll be happy because people will want us to, will pay us to get rid of them in their properties. But I'm also an avid gardener, and if I got to fuck with spotted lanternflies in my garden, I'm going to have a problem.
Damn!
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's Hoosier hospitality right there. But yeah, I'm going to have a serious problem with spotted lanternflies. And I've got old growth trees around the edge of my property. I always go out there, I take a look at them, and make sure I'm not finding eggs. And, because, I got my smashing hand with me if I do. So,
his pimp hand is strong.
My pimp hand is strong when it comes to them bastards. Oh, man. So,
talking about introduced species, we have here African snails.
The big buggers.
A big snail. The shell can be as big as a fist.
Holy shit!
That's big.
Shit.
And it started in 1992. Some farmers bought them to use as escargots, that French snail you eat.
Yeah.
Because they grow more, they grow fast.
Sam's Club.
But the taste is bad. So I can't sell this shit. So they just throw it in the nature, and they spread all over the country. At summer, we smash them on the sidewalks, on the gardens, squares, in our houses, and they can transmit meningitis.
Oh, great.
Oh,
It's like, yeah,
no.
you got to deal with a slimy fucker going across your thing, wiping out on your bikes, running over. Oh, yeah, and meningitis.
Yeah,
Great.
and another thing, when you use a bait to kill them, you must go before the shells, because the shells can turn into dengue to shit.
Take your time.
The dengue mosquito can breed in their shells if raining.
oh,
Dengue
shit.
fever.
Yeah, and we are
Yeah.
having a dengue outbreak in Brazil.
Wow.
A lot of deaths included.
Oh, shit.
This is
Between that
bad.
and the
This is
yellow
really
scorpions
bad.
you talked
I
about
got
last
dengue
year.
this
Holy
year.
shit.
Yeah. Oh, and those what kind of spiders were they that make your dick hard for hours?
Oh, the
Wandering
Congo
spiders.
banana
Wandering
spider.
spiders. There you go.
Wandering
Yeah.
spider, yeah. We call
Dave was all over that
armadillo.
one.
What?
He's still waiting for his shipment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So was Mrs. Dave.
Oh,
Who needs
fuck.
the blue pill?
That's right. No, who needs a blue pill when you got an 8-legged freak?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
It's
Just
the
come nibble me
application
here.
part. It's the application part I have trouble with. All right, just get on it and bite it real quick. Just,
Oh, wait, does it have to bite you directly on the dick, or do you?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
go big or
Anywhere
go
in
home,
your
man.
body.
Go big or go home. Come on.
I love your sense of adventure, your thirst for life. And speaking of thirst, what's everybody drinking tonight?
I'm drinking
Beer.
Vickers Cross.
Red Bull.
Red Bull, the Vickers
Dave-
Cross.
Dave's got his morning coffee.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
it.
It is 9 o'clock in the morning,
That's 8%.
but it's a Saturday, so that's no excuse.
Brad,
What's
8% beer, Brad.
that?
8% beer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's not an IPA, is it?
It's a double IPA, baby.
Oh Christ! on a stick.
Come on. What the fuck?
Excuse. One second, gentlemen. Okay, where were we? Oh yes, what were we drinking? Oh man, Mario, what you got?
Beer.
Beer. What's that?
Huh? Lager.
Lager, my man.
Yeah, lager.
See, Mario, I knew we had a connection just the moment we met.
Absolutely.
And yeah, because I love a good lager.
Yeah, fuck Rodney with that IPA bullshit.
Oh, I know. It's like God. Yeah.
No, but I like IPA too.
Yeah, make sure you don't spill any on your skinny jeans.
Scotia, boy.
In my defense, I like IPA too.
They don't
In
call
beer, I
them they don't
drink
call
it.
them microbrews because the facility is small. And anyway, nothing is
That's why I like
small
the
when I'm
pounder
drinking out
cans.
of. Hey, I will tell you, everybody on here, nothing is small when it comes to me when I'm drinking out of my Tony Spangler tumbler, especially the one,
Wow.
my favorite one, of the first lady, the voice, the songstress of Pest Control Humor Depot, Miss Paula Benedict. And somewhere along the line, she found an app that has special effects. So now her videos are even more dazzling and eye popping. But anyway, and again, let's back to the Tony Spangler tumbler from SpanglerArt.com. This is my go-to for preserving the coldness of my libations. And but I usually don't drink too many cold things out of Paula here because everything that gets in there just completely melts.
She's
Nice
so
and
hot.
warm.
So hot.
For the coldness, I have my beautiful Tales from the Crawl Space, and of course with the rubber bottom.
Rubber bottom.
Yeah, rubber bottom. Keeps it from sliding around when you get you had too many and you're like grabbing it and shit. And of course, every tumbler from SpanglerArt.com comes with its own stainless steel, surgical grade, urethral sounding rod, which is hollow. So if you want to drink out of it, you can. These things are smooth. They are machined with abject precision for smooth insertion, and but not so smooth that they don't stay put. So if you're going to town with one of these things and you happen to sneeze, you can pretty much count on it staying lodged in there. Especially if you're old like me and have a huge prostate. But they also come in the curved models as well. But anyway, back to the designs. I mean, you see, I have the beautiful and vivacious Paula. I have this one here. I got a couple more. These, if you can think it, Tony can make it. The tumblers are top quality in both construction and design. So he is all over Facebook with them, especially on Pest Control Humor Depot, which is my favorite group. Man, check them out. You won't be disappointed. So SpanglerArt.com. Tony, thanks again for everything. You're a wonderful sponsor, and we love pimping your wares.
Hell yeah! But I also want to pimp. I actually want to give Dave the floor here for Crab Smasher Dice and Resin, because I tell you, my son JT, our intro creator, loves all kinds of dice. He collects dice, D&D, all kinds of shit, and you should see some of the cool shit that Dave makes on his videos. You want to tell us about your TikTok and Facebook and everything?
Yeah, everything's at Crab Smasher Dice and Resin. I've got some new dice molds coming, so I've got some bullet dice now and bottle dice and all kinds of cool stuff. So check it out.
Awesome.
I haven't got anything with me, but I've got some big stuff that I've made for my kids. But there's a big glow-in-the-dark skull.
Oh, cool!
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but I make these skulls with bugs
nice.
in the back of them as well, like scorpions and spiders and things like that, clear ones. And all kinds of stuff.
So you can get some.
Skull in the back of that big gnarly rat skull. That would be sweet. I've got some.
I have a big box of rat skulls. I'll get right on that one.
Me too. I'm a skull collector, brother. I love it. Anytime I get one that's pretty close to being hairless at this point, I'm like, we're just gonna lop the head off of that and throw it in a jar for a bit. That'll be beautiful.
That's exactly what I do.
Awesome. So, Shaun, do you have any sick habits like Rodney?
No, nothing like that. No.
Okay.
Nova Scotia, Canada, baby.
But Shaun, you do have a gaming podcast, don't you?
Yeah, I have a gaming podcast where I talk with my friends weekly. I haven't done one in a few weeks, but that's a gaming conversation with friends. We have quite a few people listen. It's quite fun, but I'm going to delve into making some pest control podcasts soon. I'm going to, so that should be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, you'll be in fine company.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's not many UK-based pest control podcasts at all.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, there's none. Well, no, there is one that I watch, but there's not many. But if you look in America, there's tons. But the UK hasn't really got any. But I was waiting until I got my level 2 in pest control, because you know how people are for calling you out. You haven't got the paper.
Oh shit! Yeah, don't get me started on that, man. Oof.
It's a standard. I mean, in the UK, you don't have to have the level 2. You can have your basics, but they like you to have your level 2. There's no. But I do love pest control, despite the fact it's the best job I've ever had. But well, in the UK, I don't know if any of you have to do CPD, where you have to get so many points per year. It's continuous development training, basically. Continuous training.
We call them continuing credit hours here, or continuing education units, and so we know exactly
CEUs.
Yeah. So what they're doing here is they're I've always done it, but as of 2026, the farmers in the UK will not be happy because they've been buying bait, because they can buy bait without being a pest controller. You see, right? But through their insurer. But as of 2026, you've got to redo your qualification. You don't have to have level 2 basics in like rodent control, or join a trade body and do CPD to buy bait. They're not happy. We're happy about that because of them, because they're the ones that they're going about owls getting killed. They're the ones that I'm not blaming all farmers here, by the way. I'm just saying that some of them may just chuck bait in the hedges. No boxes. I'm just saying they may. That's why I say that.
Right. Yeah.
We're happy with that, but I know by 2026 they'll find a way around it.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
They will.
Those are the ones that have no business having the bait. You know, if that's the type of treatment technique that they use. And
I do agree with CPD because it's good to keep learning because everything keeps changing. But some of it's just like listening to podcasts. You can earn in the UK. You can earn CPD 8, like probably get 10 or 12 by listening to podcasts. Pest control.
Awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
We only need 20 per year.
Yeah, we don't get to do that. That's awesome.
Oh, really? You don't get this to podcasts?
I wonder how many credit hours you can get listening to Tales from the Crawl Space.
I'm going to have to see if they'll accept it.
Yeah. Our listenership would go up.
Yeah, go ahead and put our name in. You know, we'll fill out the paperwork.
Well, Rodney, what's your side gig, Rodney? You got a side gig? Something you like to do? Or something you like to do? Little hobbies or something like that?
I've been a pro wrestler for a few years. That's kind of fun.
Oh shit!
Wow.
You gotta tell me where we can find your matches so I can watch you.
Yeah, you can just YouTube my name. You'll find me.
Okay.
Okay.
All kinds of crazy shit if you Google my name, brother.
now, do you have like a persona for wrestling? Are you like Rodney the Ripper or something like that? Or?
I used to be called Honest Rod.
Okay.
Honest Rod, and it was just because I was a no bullshit kind of guy. I was just always straight shooting, and then I got in really heavy into weightlifting and strength training. So then they started to call me Country Strong, and I was on. I got to be in documentaries and stuff here on the Fight Network in Canada, and and shit like that. Yeah, it was
nice.
But you know, when you beat the shit out of your body for a long time, and then you only make $1,000, you start to realize you're like, well, I'm not going to the big leagues anytime soon, so I gotta hang it up. So I've got a little appearance coming up at the end of the month. Not the end of the month, the end of next month, June 28th, just in my local town. But just, I still stay involved in stuff. And between that and playing guitar, campfire guitar, I go and sometimes my wife and I have done weddings and stuff like that. We like to go and sing in front of people and,
awesome.
All that shit.
Nice. God, I hate it when people are more wholesome than me.
I don't know what that word is. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Wholesome, yeah. IPA.
No. I'm only wholesome online. I'm only wholesome. If everybody looks at me, they're like, "Oh, that guy's got his shit together." And then they spend an evening with me. They're like, "Oh man, that guy's a fucking ass."
I never think anybody's because no one has their shit together. Yeah, everybody's got their thing, and my things could fill an entire library, but we won't get into that. That's not what we're about here. So,
all right, Mr. Mario. Yeah, what you got going on, Mario?
I'm sorry.
What do you do to forget all this shit for a second?
Mostly ride my motorcycle.
Nice.
Get in the road and listen to rock and roll and forget about all the stuff.
Yeah.
Basically that.
What kind of rock and roll do you like?
Because I was gonna say, because we talked about an episode that might have something to do with rock and roll, so that'd be a good little segue.
Yeah.
What's your choice of rock and roll? What's your band of choice, Mario?
Wow, there are a lot. We were talking about Sepultura, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good shit.
Yeah, I like Metallica, AC/DC. Wow, you name it.
Rush?
Mario doesn't fuck around, man. Mario does not fuck around. That's good shit. Rush?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Canadian, baby.
My beloved Rush. Yeah.
Yeah. Rock and roll. I just turned the radio on and let it go.
Yeah.
I love rock and roll.
Good deal.
Very therapeutic, very cathartic.
It is.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially the slashy death metal stuff, and you've had a really shitty day, you're just like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I had a time in my life where I felt like shit was just falling apart. My heart rate was up, anxiety, bullshit, and everything. I'd get in the car and I'd put on something like Slayer, and I had my I had my Apple Watch, and it would measure my heart rate. So I put it on the heart rate thing, and the more songs I got into that playlist, the lower my heart rate went.
Yeah,
It just kind of calmed me down. I was just kind of like,
I used to do it with Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Mario's got the good shit, man.
He does, man. Mario knows his rock.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But I brought that up because Brad came up with a great idea for an episode of road tunes, what you listen to on the road, and like depending on your mood, your situation, or whatever. And I think that'd be a great episode of the kind of music everybody listens to.
Yeah, we figure we would reach out to everybody, find out maybe they've got a good story about a particular situation, a particular song that helped them through it, or just getting home, what you listen to on your way home after a shit day, and I figure we'd have a certain guest star on that could put her own spin on rendition on some of these tunes, and I figure if we get enough beer into her, she'd be able to do that. And that is pretty good. I think it's a great idea for an episode, and we'll be working on that in the upcoming weeks.
But I tell you, the other one you came up with is one I'm looking forward to doing. Hopefully next week.
I'm thinking
Live from the shitter. It's about the troubles of finding a toilet, or having to take a dump. Stories about groundhogging or whistle pigging when you're trying to get from stop to stop type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Painting the inside your underwears, and where you choose to find the best bathrooms. Me, it's always grocery stores. I love grocery store bathrooms. They're so fucking clean. Most of them are.
Oh, you don't travel in the same grocery circles I do, Jack, because they're like like in the movie Train Spotting, like the worst toilet in Scotland. It's like that. I mean, it's just one just up the street. We live in a moderately middle class area, and you go in there, and it's just like, who the fuck has been shooting up smack in here? And it's just disgusting.
Yeah, they got the blue light in the ceiling, so you can't find the veins.
There's Thornton's gas stations. You go into the men's room, it's like, you're suddenly a member of the Blue Man Group, and you're just wanting to beat on a PVC pipe while you're taking a piss.
They do it so you can't see your veins. They
exactly.
You can't find your veins. You shoot up. So
yeah, if you go by color, that's a problem. But I've got a vein right here that sticks out. I could see it anywhere. Not that I would use it to inject opiates or anything. I prefer oral.
He's just so vascular. I prefer oral too, to be honest with you. But he's just so vascular.
I am vascular. They say I have juicy veins. So they say, that's a juicy vein. I was like, they're like, which arm you want? And they want me to stick you in. I said, go to the right. Look at that. And they're like mouth drops open. And I was like, huh? Yeah. And jab. Fuck. Bathrooms. Yeah, we'll probably put a poll. We'll probably set up a poll so everybody can vote on the best, the best chain shitter or the worst chain shitter, and we'll read it out. Maybe somebody's got some good stories. I think it'll be an awesome episode.
Story for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. Save it for the show, Rodney.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm banking that one because
bank it. Yep. The spank bank.
Oh, speaking of which, Rodney, we actually, when we did a little pre-interview with you, we gave you an assignment to come up with a great "you can suck it" story.
We didn't forget.
No, you didn't forget. I when you bring up the term "you can suck it," I can only think of my former boss from Big Box, and during all your meetings, you know how you get that classic, we're all a family. We're all a family, and I know things are tough, and I know you all want raises, and I know, you can't get products when you need it, but look, we're there for you guys. We're there for you guys. And then, you get to the point that you're finally like, you know what, man, you can go and fuck yourself because I'm done with this. I'm done. gonna hang it up. And then this guy, he goes ahead after I'm done, after I've put in my 2 weeks, starting my own company. They forget the fact that I still have the link for my company email. And so I'm still getting all of these emails that are coming through where they're putting in report after report of like shit, shit reports of, oh, well, Rodney was into this place today and this customer said he didn't do this right and this wasn't labeled right. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, you came and picked up the truck 3 days ago and you forgot to turn off my email, So the you can suck it, story kind of was just like my exit from big box was like just such this big giant cluster of false reports and stuff like that, and saying shit to customers, hoping that they wouldn't want to sign with me, knowing that I was starting my own, right? So, backstory on that, I had actually been awarded Pest Technician of the Year for Canada for this company and sent.
Hell yeah.
And sent to
Polite golf applause.
Sent to San Antonio, Texas to get this award, and everybody was all like, suckhole and like, this guy is the best we've ever had in this area. And then you fast forward 6 months and everybody's like, he's the worst we've ever seen, So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So the you can suck it goes to that man, and if he listens to this and he knows the story, he'll know who he is. Fucking douchebag.
All right, we're going to pass it around the room for insults, and I'm going to want to start off here myself because I hope every orgasm that guy has from here on out fails halfway through.
Nothing worse than a ruined cum.
Brad?
I hope the next brownie you bite into, you find a piece of corn in it.
All right, Dave, what you got?
May every time you wipe, you find a huntsman in the toilet paper.
Arachnophobia all over again. Mr.
It happens
Mario.
here.
Oh, fuck that shit. Mario.
I hope you think you were getting bite for a wandering spider, and it was a fucking deadly spider. And if you allow me, guys,
man, Mario went.
May I use a good Portuguese?
Man,
may I use a good Portuguese?
All right, Shaun, what you got for us?
I'll give it a go. I hope you're driving home and you drive over glass and get 4 flat tires.
Wholesome insult, but nice.
Nice.
But what a massive pain in the ass. All 4 fucking 4.
Oh, fuck
All
yeah.
of them.
All right, Rodney, and then the coup de grace falls to you, sir.
I hope that someday I shit out a pickle and you eat it.
Damn. Wow. Don't threaten me with a good time.
God damn.
Man, we got some sick motherfuckers on the show tonight. Jack, are you going to live?
I laughed so hard I choked. Holy shit.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's the simplicity that did it for me. I shit a pickle. Here. I shit a pickle.
Here. Dill or sweet?
It depends on what else he had to eat with it.
Good point. Yeah. So, Jack, what do you say we call it for next week? Let's say the crawl space hits the shitter.
Live from the shitter, Tales from the Crawl Space podcast next Friday.
And we'll put some echo effects in it too, so it's like we're in a stall, preferably alone.
No holes in the sidewalls.
No holes in the side. Nope, no glory holes.
Well, all right, for Brad Harvey and myself, Rodney, Shaun, Mario, Dave, thank you all for being on the show tonight.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank you.
always a
Was
great
an
time.
honor.
Thank you.
And we will be
Everyone
back next week. That's right. Hell yeah. We will definitely have you guys back. It's been a great fucking show. So, for Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group, Tales from the Crawl Space, Dave, Mario, Shaun, Rodney, myself, and Brad, we respectfully ask you to bug the fuck off.
Bug
Bug
off.
off.
Bug off.